Good evening, everybody. This is Leah Ryan and Loft Manager Richard from the Pioneer Invitational. Where are we from? I don't even know anymore. I can't remember what we're called. Pioneer Racing Pigeon Club of Ontario. It's been a long day, folks. Happy Monday. We're going to send it over to Ryan and Loft Manager Richard, and I'm going to check to make sure we are live on Facebook and on YouTube for the Monday night Pioneer Family Show. Ryan, take it away.
I, I've almost waved the flag for hotel hopping. I can't do it anymore. It's getting painful now. She's starting to hurt. These hotels, man. Hotel from hotel. Four suitcases in and out, photo boxes, cameras, lighting. As Fuzzy would say, are you having fun yet? Well, we're starting to have fun now. But welcome everyone. And I got the neighbors beside me. They're a bit sensitive to noise, so it's going to be a more quieter show this evening, ladies and gentlemen. So YouTubers, Facebookers, Instagrammers, tweeters, twerkers, backstabbers, slash throaters, lighter houses on fire people, whoever's on the line, welcome. Remember, they call me daddy, and I'm here. I'm here for you. Mike Vanderyak, you're spinning the ones and twos wherever the hell you are in southern Ontario. Watch out, they've come for you too. They won't stop because they can't stop because they don't know how to stop. Holy shit, Lee, I just got my second wind. Oh, take it
Okay.
away.
We are live on Facebook and YouTube. What are we doing this evening? It's the Pioneer Family Show where we talk anything and everything to do with pigeons, pigeon racing, one loft racing, pigeon health, you name it, we talk about it. If you've got questions regarding pigeons or pigeon racing, please put them in the comments and one of our loft managers will do their best to answer them for you. Go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah. No, this has been fun. I'm in Holland today. I had to drive a little further today, and I went to the Munichs. I got the Munich birds with me here today. Did the photographs on them. They got something special. They got a match pair for their sale. So that means you're going to have 8 supers plus a super match pair. This is the nicest group they've ever sent. I can tell. They're at another level, which I always like to see. Take it away, Leah.
Richard, what would you like to add to the conversation?
I would just like to say hello. It's a good evening, and I hope everyone's doing well. And I hope all their meetings are going well in this area. That's what I'd like to say.
Perfect. Excellent. Wow. Oh, smooth, Ricky. Smooth like ebony. Yes, matings are going good. You should see here in Europe, the matings are just the people, the quality of the youngsters. I haven't heard from one breeder yet this season of sick pigeons. Not one breeder yet. Now, mind you, they're all vaccinating and double vaccinating and triple vaccinating, but no problems. And the feather quality, there's no fret marks on the youngsters that I've been looking at. Uh, Man, over here in Europe, these people, they know how to breed young pigeons.
Mike Vanderyak has a question. How cold is too cold to train?
Well, I guess I would have to say here, they don't, Mike, you'd be happy. They don't do a lot of training here. Most of the people who do train, they train 5 or 6 times, so they're obviously going to pick nice days. But I don't know. I've never asked them that question because they don't train hard. I think pigeons, honestly, I think when pigeons are outside, well, obviously they live outside, so they climatize. And if you look at wild pigeons, it doesn't matter if it's minus 50 or it's 100 degrees. Pigeons fly, right? So I don't know. I don't know if that's a myth or what that is. We can't ask the pigeon, so how do we really know?
Mike, just curious why you're asking. Just wondering, are you starting to train now, perhaps, or just wondering where the question comes from? Loft Manager Richard, good job. Holding your finger up, good job. Go ahead.
I'd just like to make a short statement, is that you're talking about European countries, Belgium, Holland, Germany, France, yeah,
Mm.
England, UK, Ireland. Those countries, you must understand, they do not have the winter like we do. So in other words, if you have young ones hatching the 1st of January here, or the 26th of December, those youngsters are going to go through some minus temperature degrees. We're talking -5, -10, -15, -20, -35. Whereas in Europe and some of those European countries, they only hit maybe freezing at night, a little bit of freezing. The next day, it goes up to 40, 50 degrees, the old degrees, you know. And Ryan talks about fret. Well, our youngsters, if they're hatched here in January 1st, and soon the parents get off the youngsters when they're 10 days old, 12 days old, and those new feathers are sitting out in -30 degrees, -20 degrees, -15. I don't care what you say. When it's -10, -5, it's still darn cold. They get fret. So, and then training, as you watch the videos when Ryan was there, those people are right now, the first part of March 5th, March 6th. Ryan was there already a month ago. They're cutting grass. Those people are cutting the grass. So you're talking a totally different ball game. Those people, as you've seen, Ryan had the show on with the fellow the other night there. I can't remember the name. I remember his daughter. Her name was Lisbeth or something. Elise something.
Yeah, Lisbeth.
Right.
Yes, that's right.
Lisbeth. Yeah. Did you take a look at those youngsters? They were fully winged. They're ready to fly. Yeah. Where, you know, so we cannot compare the situation. I mean, if you go and talk to people that raise pigeons in Africa or in Florida, Brazil, totally different system.
Oh yeah, I understand that. Sure, I get that. I don't know. Well, I mean, I can't ask the Europeans when is it too cold to train because they don't get cold, right?
Maybe he was just asking.
That's right.
If I can just interject, maybe he was just asking fellow Canadians. Maybe it wasn't specifically targeted at Europeans. He said that the hawks are so bad, I want to start training, and he can't loft fly. And Ian says, don't stop. Next year, keep him going. You'll be fine.
Yeah, I think loft flying. I mean, when's the first rate? Well, yeah, you just got to get them out and get through the hawks. I mean, they got the hawks here bad too. They do. They have them bad here. I mean, you see lots of hawks here. Holy jumping. But you know, I think that's a thing all around the world, and I think the problem with a lot of people is to keep the race birds when the season ends, they put too much weight on them, and then they let out real heavy pigeons, and when real heavy pigeons go out, it's even worse of a sitting target. It's deadly, right? And that's not the pigeon's fault. That's, you know, you put a little bit too much feed, you give them too much weight, and they're super fat.
Loft manager Richard?
I agree with what Ryan says. And if I could say, through the winter months, you almost must be cruel as far as feeding goes. You know, you have to be cruel. And just like the barn plugs, they got to live in winter. When there's 2 feet of snow on a snowfall of a foot or 6 inches or whatever, they can't find that feed. And that's what keeps them lean. But here as pigeon keepers, we walk in with the pail and we throw one handful, another one. Oh, here another one, here another one, another one. Oh, here's another one. You know what? Measure that 1 ounce, weight ounce a day, and then go out and just put the feed down and walk away. That's it. Feed them that 1 ounce and then walk away. That's it.
Mike's first race is April the 30th. Mark Baumbach's in the house. Nice to see you on, Mark.
Hey, how's it going, Mark? Remember, guys, keep your birds healthy. And I'm giving everyone, I just wanted to throw this out there because I'm feeling generously. Can I give something away today?
Sure. What are we giving away?
Anybody that has any sickness in their loss, anything at all, okay? You get young bird sickness, you get the squirts, maybe you get diarrhea yourself. Something bad happens, right? Pox happens, I don't know. Head twisting, right? Maybe you cut your hand off in a saw. I want you guys to just blame me. I'm okay for that. That was my free gift to all. And I'm feeling good, Lee. I've gotten a second win. But getting back to the pigeons, and you see this cup I have here in my hand. I'm going to use this coffee cup. Just it's a small little espresso cup. You know, a man like Dennis Sappin and Leah, you're doing his pedigrees, and you've actually said to me, Leah, you're going to hear today that Leah's beat. This is the first time ever in her history of doing pedigrees and write-ups on pigeons that she can't fit it in. The man is a fucking destroying, dominating fucking machine. And I normally don't like to swear on these shows, but Leah, did I fucking hit the nail on the head?
Yeah, Dennis Sapin has
Yeah.
so many results on the lots that he's auctioning off. There's so many results. I can't fit them all on the photo. So I'm like having
And
to
we're
do
talking,
some creative shorthand work here to get all the information on the Dennis Sapin lot photos.
but
But wow, talk about results. Incredible. Go ahead, Ryan.
yeah, but he's got like a cup, and we're gonna say it's about this size, okay? And you see my hand, you see this cup, okay?
Mhm.
He'll feed eight. One of these scoops here does 8 hens. One in the morning, one at night. One in the morning, one at night. In the off season, he keeps a very light mix, barley, oats, sunflower seeds. You see the mix that he uses. Very strict, very strict. You put the pigeons in your hands. I'm going to say one thing. You put the pigeons in your hands, and not one pigeon's an obese cow. Okay? I'm going to be honest with you. When I go to lofts in not Europe and other places, I feel obese cows at this time of the year, but not here. All the guys that are flying and they're high-end flyers, they're already in super form. I watched the Combe Van Zornbirds go out yesterday. Holy shit. Holy shit. I don't think I've ever had pigeons even fly that good. I was at Sapins. Holy shit. I don't see pigeons fly that good. I'm telling you, Leah, I ain't never raced a pigeon yet. I don't even know what I'm doing here.
Mike Vandiak's asking, can Ryan bring me home a pickstone with the same size pot that Dennis Sapin uses?
Nope, can't do that. There's rules to these games. I don't ask the breeders for stuff like that. He basically uses it's a large soup spoon. So you take a large soup spoon, put it in your pot, and you'll see what it fills up.
And Loft, Ryan, remember they have milder winters compared to North America.
Yeah, I don't know. They got milder winters, sure, but the wild pigeon it lives outside and it doesn't get it has to live at what Mother Nature gives it. So when we have 2 feet of snow outside, do you think Mother Nature throws it down an extra couple fistfuls of corn? He got to dig for that corn, doesn't he? Nothing's given to the wild pigeon. Wild pigeon has to work in Canada, like the wild pigeon has to work in Belgium, as it does in Egypt and in France. Go ahead, Ricky. Back to you.
I think what the fellow was saying is he's 100% right. Their winters, I think he meant their winters there are a lot softer than they are here. And I don't know if you took a barn plug from there and dumped it here in Canada in the middle of February, how quickly he would adapt. He first year here, just dump him in. I'll bet you that plug would die because there
I have a
it's that much milder, and they don't get any snow there. They get a little frost at night, maybe in the winter, a little bit of frost. We seen it there. You were there in February. We seen you could cut the grass already, right? They never
right
ever,
now.
right? So it's a lot different.
It is a lot different, but you have to remember the birds climatize, right? The birds do climatize. I think you can up the feed a little bit here, maybe from that soup spoon to a soup spoon and a half a day, or a soup spoon in the morning, a soup spoon at night, and add a little bit more to it. But I don't think you have to feed the way we do, Richard, you and myself. Far too heavy, far too heavy. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I cut them back in the wintertime. I give them oats, wheat, and barley, and I give them about probably 5% corn, reindeer
Okay.
corn though.
Oh,
Okay,
you got it.
and that's it. Now, if you want, I can bring in how I feed. I'll give you an example,
No,
and
no,
you know,
no, no. It will be interesting because when I come back to Canada, right, I will go out and handle our birds or your birds, right? I'm just going to go out and handle some pigeons for fun, and I will tell you if they're too fat, in my opinion.
Uh,
But that's okay. We're not yelling at each other. We're just having a constructive conversation.
Mark and Rosemary want to give you guys a shout out. Rob Long's asking Ryan, whereabouts are you now? What country in?
Uh, I'm in I'm in the northern part. I'm right by the sea in the Netherlands. I'm at Geert in Leandra, Munich. Now it's fourth generation pigeon family, and what a amazing afternoon I spent with the Munichs. And I'm going to tell you, I said it again, Leah. I think coming here to Europe, there's one thing it's done for us here at Feathers Elite. You know what that is?
What?
It's raised the level of the pigeons yet again. It's just raising it up again. You can see better and better and better. And I got to thank these breeders. They're just crushing it.
They sure are. Heather Green, what is your tip on how to tell a cock from a hen? Great question.
Hey Heather. Oh well, lots of people have different, I guess, different tips in the nest. You normally see the hens are normally a bit smaller, the babies, right? The youngsters, the little ones. And then you just keep looking. I mean, we look at the faces, really. I know some people flip them upside down. Some people measure toes. You just hold up a pigeon and take a look. You say, "Oh, I think that's a hen or a cock." I don't know. What do you think, Richard?
I would have to say it's Ryan's tips are very very good. Um, it's years and years of watching and studying. And I will give you an example.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it I could drive my car on the road and I could see somebody walking on the shoulder, and I can tell from as far as I can start to see them whether it's a woman or a man, because it's years of slowly starting to recognize things. I got young ones in the nest. They're 10 days old. I can already tell it's going to be a cock or a hen just because I I've trained myself from years and years of experience. And I go sometimes I go somewhere and the people say, uh, feel the vent bones. They're wide open. That's a hen. If it's tight, it's a cock. That's baloney.
Yeah.
Sometimes it works. Turn them upside down and they do a little wobble like this. That could be a cock. But I just think it's years of slow learning. It's like probably people in the hospital, the nurses, soon a baby's born, they don't even have to wash it. They just look at its baby's face. They say, oh, that's a little girl. Oh, that's a little boy. But
Yeah,
I have trouble.
probably.
Yeah, yeah.
Probably.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're 100% right on that one. And Heather, I think the best thing is you can measure birds' toes, and you can turn a bird on its back, which I never do. This is
So
what
that's
people
supposed to be a
say.
cock.
That's supposed to be a cock because he doesn't sit flat in your hand. Cocks roll. You see how this bird
Yeah,
wants to roll? So that's
that's
a
right.
cock. And you lay him up on his back. Now, I don't recommend doing that, and sure as hell I don't do that at a breeder's place. But if you're stuck or whatever, okay, fine. And I think, Heather, the very best way is hold the pigeons up from little babies or whatever, and you look at the face and write it down on a paper. Say, I think this one's a cock. You got that cock birdie look, and that's that. And then see how close you are as the season goes on. But yeah, this one's a cock. Super.
Rob
Beautiful.
Long is asking Ryan, will you be visiting Jan Hoymans? And also, are you heading back to Belgium to see David Beatons and Willie Daniels?
No, first things first. I've got to visit. Uh, we got a lot of breeders that we've got committed. I have had talks with Jan Hoymans. Some of the people that are tied in with PIPA, there's no point in going. I don't. No, I'm not interested. I'm not interested in people with, they think one way. I like an think openly, right? So you see all the breeders we deal with, they're open. They think openly. They're easy to work with. And I can't see everyone, you know.
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
I've had visits.
there's not enough hours in the day. There's not enough time that you were there, and we don't promote for other auction sites. So if they're locked into another auction company, then their other auction company that represents them, they can go and do loft tours and question and answers and all the rest of it. I don't promote for other auction companies. So,
Yeah,
Jan,
that's right. And go ahead.
Jan Hoymans is, you were talking to him about going to see him, right?
Yeah,
Spike Cruelis. I probably said that wrong. How is the shipping for the birds in Europe?
perfect. When the borders open, we ship them in. It's held up in China. It's held up all over the world. It's held up even going into France. It's held up. We're in holding mode. I've had so many people ask me when it seems like they buy a pigeon and it's the next thing they're going to ask. Is it coming tomorrow? No. Slow down. Wait. They'll come. Just be patient. You're buying in Canadian dollars. Relax. Wait. You're not going to bring it home and you're not going to pump out youngsters and breed a national winner out of it off the first crack. I can guarantee you it. When the borders open, we're going to import the birds. They're going to quarantine the proper amount of time, and then we ship them out to the buyers. Correct, Leah?
Yes, getting back to cocks or hens, Mike Vanderyak, 50% of the nests will have a hen and a cock, 25% will have two hens, and 25% will have two cocks. Hopefully that helps you out there. Heather, Don Meredith, I'm sure you have enough on your plate. We absolutely do. And Don Meredith said, cheap, cheap, cheap. Yes. Getting the pigeons that we're offering in this UK and European tour for the prices that you guys are going to get them at in Canadian dollars is not doable there ever.
Yeah, never.
Loft
No,
manager Richard?
It's good.
Okay.
it is good. Well,
Speaking of our,
I wasn't sure if we had more questions. Go ahead.
no more
Oh, if
questions.
you want, I can keep talking. I could talk a bit. I mean, what Mike said, um, he's right. And the odd time, I get uh, a hen, Miss San Diego. We talk about her a lot. She has, she passed away. She passed away. She was 8 years old. But every nest that we got out of her, there always was a pair of cocks, pair of cocks, pair of cocks. I got one hen out of her in 8 years. And that's incredible. And that's an odd situation, I think.
Yeah, that was incredible. That is a true point. Yeah, I mean, we say one hen. I think it was. I don't. It was under three hens. It was
There's,
unbelievable. It was. She's a cock
excuse
breeding
me,
machine.
excuse me. I'm going to shoot you down. I only
All right.
got one hen out of her in eight
Okay.
years.
All right.
I'm honest.
You're the man.
Brian, Tracy wants to know how the gas prices are, and David Tracy wants to know, what do you do with the birds you have at the hotel?
Well, we photographed the birds. So I got here in the hotel room today at around 9. By the time I set up the studio, did all this. I got the eye sign done. I got the body photos done. I've got the video photos done. So I get all that done, put it onto the computer, send it to Leah, and then I take them down and put them back in the car for the evening. So I'll
Yeah,
be done here with these birds about 4 o'clock tonight.
yeah. In case you guys aren't aware, Ryan does all photography, all video work. everything, and I do the creation of the auctions, photos, the write-ups, the lot details, the editing of the videos, the posting, you name it. We do it, Ryan and I. There you go.
The camera. Yeah, no, we do it all. We don't subcontract anything.
Brian Mansker, when breeding and they are feeding young, do you have feed down all the time?
Yeah, most of the places here you see they have constant feed or they have feed in the boxes. Uh, they have enough feed. They make sure that the breeders have more than enough feed. But I will say one thing: the grit and the minerals. I think they use it heavier than we do in North America. They use it heavier than I use it. Okay, I'm not using it to the max, to the max. And again, speaking with Alfred, I'll give you guys a little tip. If you want to use bird yeast on your feed 3 times a week, you need to use the live bird yeast, and you will create extreme super feather. And I've asked some of these breeders off camera, hey, you use bird yeast? Yeah, 2 to 3 times a week, 2 to 3 times a week, live bird yeast, live bird yeast. That's something, again, we don't give enough of. So,
Loft Manager Richard, did you have anything you wanted to add to that?
No, I believe in it.
Spike is asking, what is the
100%.
estimated cost of the import? The estimated cost, I can
oh,
just tell you what the cost was before they closed the border. I can't tell you what the cost is going to be when the border reopens because of fuel prices, air prices, you name it, everything's going up. So it used to be $185 per bird plus a $60 booking fee plus shipping to you when the pigeon finishes quarantine. Quarantine times are as follows. They have to quarantine 30 days in Holland. If you're a Canadian buyer, then they have to come to us where they quarantine with us, Feathers Elite, for 45 days. If you're an American buyer, the birds have to stay with us for 90 days. No ifs, ands, buts, or anything else about that. 90 days as stipulated by the USDA. So you're looking in total at about what, 120, no, 90, 120 days ish? Three
yeah,
months, 3.5 months, 4 months to wait for them. That's providing everything goes as planned. Keep in mind, folks, you are dealing with the government and they can change their rules on a dime. So,
right. Yeah, we don't know.
Loft Manager Richard, and then Troy has a question.
Yeah, I think that price is a great price. Time, especially buying now at this time of the year, it's great because right now we're putting our birds together and whatever. You're getting birds from Europe, so you have some time to, by the time the bird gets here, to adapt to the new environment. You know, and
Perfect. Yeah.
just yeah, right, perfect. Now I heard about pricing, and I heard vaguely that you can get them in sooner, but it's roughly around $500 to $600 a bird.
Yeah, I don't
And,
know about that, and I'm not even talking about that.
I don't
I'm
even want
not,
to talk
no.
about that.
Yeah,
No, and
so
then you're
I
not
I don't need
guaranteed you're
that.
going to get the bird either.
No,
Well, that
I'm
that
not
that
rumoring
get
that.
sorry, getting him in for whatever amount, that's in the United States where we do not do the quarantine. We don't import birds unless we can do the quarantining. So I don't know where you can import them for that amount of money, nor do I care because that's not the route that we're going to go down. Troy Spencer, Ryan,
100%.
what is live brewer's yeast?
You got well, they sell it they sell it here at the pigeon stores. You can get it. There's different. I think it's a. You know what? I gotta be honest. I can't just exactly know what it is. Ricky, you know what it is. Go ahead.
I don't know everything, but it's the yeast like you use to make beer. So in
Yes.
other words, you put that in, or it's like yeast to Leah knows she loves baking, to bake bread.
Yeah.
So you put a bit of yeast in a spoon, and then let the heat get to it, and watch what happens. it blows up.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
that's what
Okay,
you. That's a live
you're right.
geese.
Thank you.
Okay,
You were right on.
you're welcome.
Perfect, Ricky.
Christmas Cactus over on YouTube wants to know, hi Ryan, does Mr. Sapin have any smaller auction pigeons in the auction?
Smaller pigeons. Actually, I was the first season they were a little bigger. This year they are a little smaller. They're not. They're a sprint pigeon, but they're not like a Vandenbalk. They're not that real big man. Watch the videos or watch the grading, and you're going to see the sizes on them. I will tell you something though. When you look at the pedigrees, and pedigrees mean shit, they do. But this man's pedigrees and this man's results, they're so damn good. It's just set it and forget it. He's a machine. He really is.
Christmas Cactus says, follow up, I'm looking for smaller size Sujans.
Yeah, he has some smaller ones in there. Again, uh, looking for sizes of pigeons. I think if they're built nicely, if they're a little bit bigger or medium, or it's okay. I know if you don't like big pigeons, but sometimes it's good to bring in a little bit larger of a pigeon. These aren't monsters, don't worry. And again, if you have a question on a pigeon, let us know and say, hey, I'm interested in this one. Is it a big one or is it a small one? And hopefully my pigeon fingers can remember it. Uh, but I don't think you'd be disappointed with Sappins because they're phenomenal.
Loft Manager Richard?
Yeah, I'm listening to this fellow saying he wants smaller type Sapan pigeons, sprint pigeons. If he's looking for sprint pigeons, you're buying from the best sprint in the world. So why would you want to, what should I say, desecrate his pigeon? Why? To make it smaller? This man is proven. I met the man. I went to his loft. Proven. Why would you try and reduce his fabrication of an ace pigeon? I don't understand that.
Well, maybe what he's saying is he likes the smaller ones, and I kind of get that. It's like, hey, so some people go to Subway and buy the 6-inch sub, and other people go and buy the 12-inch. It's one of those things. I get it, but I'm going to tell you, as long as the pigeons are nice and they're built right, I don't think you're going to be disappointed. I really don't. And I get what you like. Everyone likes something different.
Before we get back to you, Richard, Mike Green, who has purchased from Dennis Sapin before, he's a good person to ask. He's in the United States and he has 2 hens that are a medium size, but he is a good referral. Christmas Cactus, if you want to find out what Mike Green thinks about the Dennis Sapin pigeons. Loftman Richard, did you have
Yeah,
something
for
to add?
sure.
I would just say again, like I said, the man has he's an ace, short distance to what a little middle distance pigeon flyer, and it proves it. If you were to call the man up and say, "Get rid of your pigeons; they're too large for me," you don't, you got to compete against him first before you can say that.
And the other thing I will say, his hens, they specialize right out into the middle distance, out to the 300-mile range. The hens are a lot smaller than the cocks. Um, we went through the breeders, and there was one pigeon in the sale that he brought in a Sabrina Bergman pigeon, and I could feel it right away. It was a different build of pigeon. It was actually bigger and deeper, but it was just. I think you'll like the hens, and if you want the small, I would stick with the hens. The hens will be smaller. You'll enjoy them, I promise you.
Okay, no questions. Ryan, you had a tip that you wanted to share with us? I'm just gonna go
Oh
and
yeah.
grab myself another pop
Yeah.
if you wanna. I'm just gonna put the camera on
Okay.
you, and so you can show the tip, and I'll
Okay.
be right back. Who's that from?
So
Who's
you
the
guys
tip from?
see, this is from the Munichs today. Okay. So this is it almost looks like a small dessert plate. Okay. It's plastic. And if I bring it up right up to the camera, you see there's holes cut through it all the way around. Okay. And this here, the Munichs use this in each nest bowl. They put this in the nest. They put the nest bowl on top of this, just like this, and you're gonna wonder why. And when they showed me, it was pretty remarkable because the young ones, when they sit in here, they sweat. You know, they create condensation into the bowl. And if this bowl is just sitting on the wood, just like this, when you clean your loft, you lift up, and most of the time it's wet underneath. The moisture is on the wood. And like Richard says, wood holds moisture, it's wet. And this was amazing because the Munichs have all theirs on these, like this. And he showed me today, I didn't have the camera on. He took a baby out like this, pulled it out, and he tipped it over. And he said, "Look, Ryan, look what's in the bottom." And there was condensation, there was water, a little bit of water. And this way the condensation can come out. He says there's never a lot, but you'll get it in there. You'll see it. This keeps the wood in the loft dry. This keeps the air flowing underneath the bowl, it dry, and the baby's a lot fresher. No respiratory, it cuts down. Just
Interesting.
a little tip. You know what? Geert says he's been making these for guys. He says, Ryan, you want to market these and sell them? So anybody, I'm not going to open up a store for these, but I know the people that follow the leader and say, I got to have it first. Go ahead, and you can figure out how to make these. There you go.
So does I missed a part of that. Does Geert make those? He made that?
Yeah, he
Oh
makes them
wow.
himself. Yeah,
Oh wow. Cool.
PVC pipe lids. PVC pipe lids. The big. You see the size of the lids, right?
Yeah.
There's the bowl. It's the size of the bottom of the bowl, and it absolutely does exactly what he says it does. And I thought that was an excellent tip. It was good.
Michael Peebler adds, they're not glazed, they are just fired clay. Fired clay.
Uh, yeah, these are not glazed. No,
And he's got
they're
a nest
just
felt in there, right?
yeah. He
No
has a
nest
nest
felt?
felt in this one.
Yeah.
Nest felt. They don't use any bedding. They don't use shavings in the bowls in the boxes. None of that. They want the loft dry and clean. They like their lofts. The last couple lofts I've been to, they're phenomenal in cleaning. The detail to cleaning, and you've seen it, man. I was at the Pigeon show. Oh my God, the amount of different scrapers they have are phenomenal. Like scrapers, triangle scrapers, mini scrapers, big scrapers, narrow scrapers, this scraper, that scraper, scrapers on poles, scrapers that are 3 feet wide, scrapers that are this wide. They like to clean. There you go.
Great tip from the Munichs. Guys, if you have pigeon questions, let us know in the comments. Ryan, what else do you want to talk about?
Hmm. Oh, one loft racing is getting close. I highly recommend, ladies and gentlemen, vaccinate your pigeons. Vaccinate them. Figure out where you're going to get your vaccines from, where you're going to order them from. Order them from the US, order them from Europe, order them from somewhere. But I'm going to tell you this right now, point blank, do not be using chicken vaccine. It doesn't work. There you go. That's my tip for that.
Rita asked, do nest felts absorb moisture?
It depends on the ones that you use. I'm just going to be honest. We used to sell Versalaga ones. I don't like them. The material doesn't breathe. The ones that we sell, you can actually see through them. It's more of a, I don't know, what are they made of, Richard? The ones we have.
It's more of a filter type
Yeah.
texture. The Versalager ones are more like a cotton, and they absorb. They don't let air through. So the ones that we have are just like a filter type. Goes right
Yeah.
through, keeps them dry as can be.
You know, when you hold your nest pad up, you want to be able to see light through it. I think if you see light through it, it's going to breathe. And I
Uh,
will say that the guys here, they'll do a round, pull the nest felt out, put a new one in. Do a round, nest felt out, put it in. Go ahead, Richard.
you can take, I'm not bragging about our nest felts, but take them,
Mm-hmm.
hold them up, put a garden hose through it, and the water will run right through. Take
Mm-hmm.
those other ones we had from Versalaga. They're like a cotton batting thing, okay? Let the water run through, and what it does, it's just like a baby diaper. It just soaks the water in. Once the baby has urinated once in that diaper, it's done. If you let the baby urinate 2 times in the diaper, it's done. And the baby's going to start getting diaper rash. So that's what we're talking about, aeration. Aeration. And what you've seen what the Munichs do there with their nest bowl, and they put the pad in, it's double aeration. And that's exactly what you're looking at, double aeration. And that's very important. Very important. The same thing is, if you're not getting those pads, don't put hay in there because it'll soak moisture and it won't dry. It'll start heating. It'll start rotting. And that's very
Mm-hmm.
bad.
And
But
it creates respiratory. It creates respiratory.
creates a lot of things. And that's why your barn plugs, your doves, they go underneath the pine trees and they get those long needled, dried pine needles that are right on the ground. They put it in their nest. It makes an aeration type nest. That's it.
Yeah, you're
Don't
right.
get those things. Don't get those things like diapers. They sell them. I know the ones they are. They're kind of a creamy looking pad. Put them in there. Forget it.
Spike is asking, do you have heaters in your loft? No, we don't.
No.
Alfred
No.
says chicken vaccine is not good for birds. There you go, right from Alfred Van Zoren himself. I can't find the Sonia Vandermelen tip at the moment. However, I did find a little part in her loft tour video. If you guys haven't checked out the Sonia Vandermelen loft tour, please head on over to YouTube when this show is over and check it out. But I did snag a little clip here from the loft tour. And Ryan and Loft Manager Richard, maybe you guys can have a look at it because I was not 100% sure what the point of this net was. And maybe you guys, I'm going to show the clip before you say something, and then maybe we can
Okay.
talk about it, okay?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm going to show the clip. Now, there's no sound to this, but let's just take a look and see what Sonia and Danny Vandermelen are doing with this net, and then we're going to talk about it. So here we go. Ryan, maybe you can explain because since I don't have the volume on here.
Okay. Okay. So this is the hen section, and I wanted to make this a tip, but we got busy and I forgot to come back to it. But he has it's almost like a fishing net up on the wall. Okay. And what he will do is you're going to see him now. He grabs it, he pulls it out, and he puts it up about 3 feet off the floor, about kneecap height. You see, and it almost looks like one of those hammocks, Leah.
Right.
And this is a great tip. This is how he keeps his hens from going on the floor. They can only go in the box perches. They don't feel comfortable going on the netting. It's not comfortable. They can't make a nest. Now, yes, he has hens under there. He does this after he feeds them, right? He puts this out. They go up to their perches. This is something that he does. And obviously, you could tell he's been doing this for a while because you can see the feathers on it. He puts it up, and it's a good little tip.
And that is going to prevent the hens from pairing up together, correct?
Yeah, it keeps them from having eggs on the floor and getting more comfortable to, as we say, queer up.
Have you guys ever seen that before? I've never seen it. Loft Manager Richard, go ahead. I don't always see your fingers, so go ahead.
I think Ryan's exactly right. Stops the hens from becoming lesbians. He feeds on the floor, if I can believe that. Once the feeding's over, the net comes on, and the cubes on the net look like they're about 2 inches round. So the hens absolutely feel uncomfortable going down on the floor. And for them to become lesbians, they must go down either in a box or on the floor, in the corner, to associate. But as you can see, he's got the V perches on the walls. So the only place for a hen to be is on a V perch. So she cannot really communicate with another hen when that net's on the floor. The other way to do it is, and I've seen it being done, they'll put a Dutch buck rabbit on the floor. And the buck rabbit, he's always looking for a doe. And he's on that floor. And soon any of those hens go on that floor, that buck rabbit, all he wants to do is chase hens. Keeps the hens off the floor. So, I mean, this is a great idea. You don't have to feed a rabbit, right?
Right. And some people use roller wheels. You see the roller wheels on the floor. I've seen people put little colored balls all over the floor. One thing I've noticed between I'll say with the Munichs and Van Zoren, they specialize really in hens. They like to fly the hens. They get more out of the hens, and all their reasons for getting the most out of the hens are right there. You take a motivated widowhood cock, you put them, ship them on a Thursday for a Saturday race, and cocks in the basket all day long. They just go to work on each other. They fight, they play, they fight, they talk, they fight, they talk, they fight. Hens will go and sleep in a basket. The hens, you can get more juice out of them. The hens come back from the races. They bounce back quicker. But these guys that fly these hens, they normally have them locked in the boxes, or they have something so these hens don't pair up. And if your hens pair up, really, it's normally not that good. So there's a lot of control with the hens. And, when they have the hens in their own individual boxes so they don't pair up, that's when the hens start to come onto them as well. So that means the handler is pairing to the hens, flirting with the hens, communicating with the hens, and figuring out what it takes to get that hen to fire. Go ahead, Leah.
1 second. We're just getting back to this net here. Troy asks, Ryan, when the net is down, do the hens have access to go in the aviary?
Yeah, a lot of these guys, when the pigeons, once they hit race season, when the birds start to go for races, there's no aviaries. Right now, Danny there, his hens, he doesn't have them in race mode, so he's allowing them in the aviary. He lets them out every other day, every third day. Same with Alfred. Every second day, every third day, they get to go out for an exercise. They don't want to bring them up into peak form. They're just getting them slowly into the system. They've pulled them away from their cocks. And as they get closer to the races, then they start to tighten the screws. You can't tighten the screws right from day one. You take them from the cocks and tighten the screws because you're going to run out of steam and motivation, right? Go ahead, Richard.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. I don't like to put my race birds, even my young birds, out into an aviary. I just don't like it. Keep them inside. And And like you said about the hens will mate up to the loft manager. You know, they fly to the
Yeah.
loft manager into their box, right?
Right. You just have to, but again, these guys here, North America, and I use North America because that's where we're from. North America is about young bird flying, okay? Because people can race young birds, get rid of them, and restart again next year. In North America, you'll never build families of pigeons doing that system. It can't be done. It cannot be done. You have to fly your pigeons like Alfred, like like Dennis Sappin, uh, like the Maze, like Formula One, 3, 4 years. Look at Luke Vandenplas. Flew a hen for 9 years. 9 years. Don't tell me, and I hate to say this, but I get people. Don't tell me what you think you know. Tell me what you know. Can pigeons fly in the dark? I heard they can't. I'm going to tell you they can. Can a pigeon race to be 9 years old? I've never done it. But when a man like that tells me it's been done, and you've seen the ground he's flown on, the competition he's played against, the birds he's gotten from people, and the asses that the man's whooped, you want me to tell you something? I know the man's shooting straight. So, I tell people, you want to build a family, you got to fly young and old. Young, yearlings, old birds. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Go ahead, Leah.
Mo, nice to see you on. He said that he tried the iodine with the high fat milk this week, and I'm starting to see a big difference. Awesome, Mo. We're glad that tip from May Pigeons helped you out, and I'm sure that they will also be happy to hear that. So that's awesome. We're glad to see that you guys are using these tips from these breeders and incorporating them into your own loft, and it's working. That's fantastic. Bruce Dixon, nice to see you on, friend. He says that is unheard of here. It is unheard of.
Well,
Brian.
yeah, flying pigeons to be that age is unheard of. You know what? Let's see pigeons that are 4 years old fly here. And what's going on is people are judging pigeons real fast, real fast. I had a guy say to me, "I put birds in your race. I didn't breed. They didn't do well. Okay, they didn't do well. Well, I'm not coming back, or I'm not going to send me another pair the same way." Guys, all these pigeons, and you hear it from these guys. Some guys have super pairs that have the high percentage, and there's some guys that'll tell you, "Hey, listen, I've bred a first national out of this, and it took me, 10 more rounds out of it to get another cracker." And then I've got another pair. They breed super pigeons all the way through, and then I have some pairs that don't breed. And you got to mix them up. The only way you learn is by testing, And when you hear a guy say, "I give a pair 2 to 3 years," by the time that pair is 3 years of breeding, he's tested 3 different seasons of young birds. He's tested 2 seasons of yearlings. He's got 3-year-olds to test, 2-year-olds to test. They're testing the pigeon. They're getting the value out of the pigeon to see what it can do. If a pair doesn't click the first time, switch the pair. You got to give it a bit of time. Rome wasn't built in a day. You see Alfred. Alfred says patience. They all say patience. You can be strict, but you need to have common sense and patience.
Richard, did you have something you wanted to add to that? And then Brian has a comment.
I know Mo came on there, and Mo was talking to me last weekend. He had some birds that weren't feeling too well, that really looked like they were going down. And he made up this. And I listened to Mo. He works. Mo's the cheese man. He has what should I say? He can get on to. He's got 80% fat milk, and
Mm-hmm.
he made up this, and he said it was incredible. Within 2 days, the birds just bounced right back. And then he even gave some to some of his breeders. And he said they just sparkled. Um, but he did say what the May people said, the amount of iodine. Mo said he put that in that with that, he boiled the milk and then he put water and whatever, reduced it. He said it was so strong he felt afraid to give it to his birds. But Mays, they probably put it in and say, guys, you got to drink this, strong as it is. So Mo proved it's going to work.
And sometimes you will see me. You see me go to these places. I'll taste oh, well, I was at the Pigeon Show. They gave me this product, and I try it. I get a taste for it. Guys, if you're giving it to your pigeon, it's okay. You should be able to take it in yourself.
Well, I know
Okay?
Xavier Verstrada. He tastes everything before he gives it to his pigeons. I remember him saying that on last year's show that we had with him. Okay, let's get to the comments here. Quite a few of them. Brian Mansker, no money,
I
no
got
birds in North America. Okay, go ahead.
I got
Go
to get
ahead,
my
and then we'll
plug.
get to Brian's comment. Go
I
ahead.
got to get my plug where I am. It's a bit cold. My battery's going down.
Okay.
I
Okay.
got to grab my plug. Okay, go
Okay.
ahead.
You go grab your plug,
Go.
and I'll put it on Ryan
Yeah.
here for a second. Okay. So, Brian, no money in old birds in North America.
Well, if we're looking at this for money, how much money have you made so far? I'm not being a smartass, right? There's, we say, Leah, there's no money in it, is there? No, there's no money in it. You guys are the ones that make the money. You guys are the ones that create the races to play. But you guys have to want to do it. You know, right off day number one, there's not going to be money in things. But are you looking for good pigeons or you want money? I don't know. I get what you're saying, Brian, but I haven't heard one of these breeders, Leah, and you've done a lot with me with them. Do you think I've ever talked to you about money?
Not one.
Like, oh, I'm quit flying yearlings because there's no money in those races.
Not one.
No, I don't know. Fly one
Okay.
loft races, make all the money you want. Sorry, Brian, I'm on your team, but not on that one.
Okay. Frank Eichhorn, pigeons fly in the dark to come home on a race day in Holland are all the greenhouses that have the lights on 24/7.
Okay.
Troy, Mo, it's too early to have young bird sickness. What are you doing over there? And Mike Vandiak's also asking, I thought the high fat milk and iodine was for young bird sickness. And Rob Wong's asking, does that method really work for young bird sickness? Well, Rob, I'm just going to answer that part. Do you think that May pigeons would be giving us a tip to treat young bird sickness that doesn't work? Do you think that they would do that, put themselves on camera, and tell the world a young bird sickness treatment that is not successful? I'm not sure what breeders you associate with, Rob Wong, but the ones that we associate with, they're not liars.
Yeah,
Sorry. Oh,
it's funny, but young bird sickness. A young bird can get this sickness. It doesn't have to be 3 weeks old. It can be pigeons on their ninth flight. It's when stress hits. It's when the devil comes in. Uh, hey, you know what? I heard what May said. I would probably give it to my stock birds, right? I'd probably give it to them maybe once or twice a week. I don't think it's going to hurt your pigeons. Maybe give it to them once a week. Maybe, hey, take the iodine out, give them the fat milk. I don't think it's going to hurt them. I mean, you take a look at and these tips that these guys give. I hate to say it, but May pigeons, they've had pigeons over 100 years in their family. Uh, these people don't stand up here and give me a tip to look stupid. And actually, we're pretty damn grateful that they give us these tips. Thank you to the people that give the tips. Go ahead, Leo.
Well, Fans Richard is back. Did you want to add something?
I was listening, and I believe what Ryan said. Mo had said his birds were looking down, and uh, it's almost like a virus or something was coming in. He gave them this, what May said. He couldn't believe it. Within a couple days, bang. He gave some to his old birds. We should get Mo on here one time to say it, but he said even his old birds, they just perked right up. So,
You know what I will say? You know what I will say? Congratulations to Mo for taking the time to look at his pigeons. He felt something wasn't right. He took knowledge from a different pigeon man in a different part of the world that had maybe a little more knowledge or something new, not more knowledge, just different knowledge. He tried it. It was pretty much a natural product. It's not going to kill him. And it worked. But again, as I say, when are you going to get young bird sickness? Ladies and gentlemen, Leah, mark my words. This season in North America, a lot of the lofts are going to get wiped with young bird sickness. I can guarantee it. I've seen the devil already. I've seen her come. She's going to close like a freight train this year. And Mo's seen it in his youngsters that he bred early. Watch out, people. And people vaccinating with the wrong shit, guess what's going to happen to you? Twisty, 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 twisty. Back to you, Leah.
Tony DeCesare, what strength's iodine?
Ricky, what do you got?
yeah, I was talking to Mo, and Mo, what he's watching the May review that you had with the May loft, and he said he tried the strength that those people said. I think Mo said it was 15% to whatever. Mo said to me, it was so strong, iodine. He tried it with his birds, and they were just shaking their heads, shaking their heads. But the Mayloft have proven it, that strength should work. May felt sorry. He reduced the strength. And, you know, when I listened to Mo, how he cooked it on the stove, he told me step by step, put it in. May Loft said, I think it was 15% to mix in. And Mo said, the stuff was so strong. He said, I felt sorry to give it to my birds. But May Loft, they know.
Right.
And
We're right.
that iodine that cleans out everything cleans and doesn't hurt the birds. It's natural.
So
Iodine is
that
natural.
he used a high-fat milk. He said, yes, high-fat milk is 4%, but he mixed his concoction with cream 70%. Mike Vanderyak says, late
Okay.
breds can get young bird sickness in the spring as yearlings. Yes, they can.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Mike. That's common sense. Thank you. Go ahead, Ricky.
It's very good that your young birds get young bird sickness before training even starts. Very good for them. Get it and get it over with. And this, what May does, and probably all the European people use the same system, but we don't have that here. So now we're learning something. And apparently, Mo's got the concoction. He set his stoves up. He's selling a gallon for $35.
There you go.
Perfect. Good job.
Brian Mansker, they getting back to making money races and whatnot. Okay, talking about the Europeans, they may not be talking about money to you, but they are not giving their birds away. They are making good money off their birds, and rightly so. I have heard several of them say they sell to China and the Middle East, Kuwait, and those are areas of the countries that pay big money for birds.
Yeah, but they have to fly the pigeons, the races to get to that level. You don't just, I can't just come here to Belgium, get some Belgium rings, and then call up, say to Leandra Munich, hey, could you send your buddies over from the Middle East? I got some red checkers and some grizzles. They look nice. No, you got to get results.
The
And you
these
know what? Yeah. What?
they're making money. If I can just interrupt here, they are making money off their birds. They absolutely are, because they have gotten to a level where their pigeons are sought after in China and the Middle East. And why are they sought after in those countries where they do play big money races? It's because the pigeons produce for them over there. That's it's like it's the circle of life, right? They get the results, the people buy the pigeons from them, the people who buy from them get results, and then they come back. And yes, that is going to drive the dollar value up of that particular breeder's pigeons, if not only the breeder is getting incredible results, but the breeder is selling his stock to other breeders and they're also getting the results. It's common sense. That's how it works, right?
It's a fun fact. You seen the Olympiad the other day, and if you haven't seen that, go and take a look. And you see all those Dutch pigeons all in a row there. And Alfred explained this to me, I guess, in a simple way. The ace sprint pigeons, they're worth around 25,000 euros, those ace sprint pigeons. The middle distance pigeons are, let's say, $50,000. Okay, they're worth that. The long distance pigeons are well up in the $100,000 range. I'm here, right? Okay. The
Yeah.
$100,000 range. The all around pigeon, that can be $150,000. That one pigeon. That one pigeon. But there's only a handful of pigeons that get that number that are first, second, or third Olympiad pigeons. When you see a fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, tenth, those are very good pigeons. But in the Olympics, they only give gold, silver, and bronze. Those are the ace pigeons.
Before we
So
get
yeah, go ahead.
Before we get to Spike's question about ionized sea salt, for the Olympiad, if you win the Olympiad, or if you win a national, or if you win a provincial, is there a cash prize for that, or do you just get an award?
It's an award.
It's an award. All of the awards that the Europeans win, national, provincial, KBDB, this, that, whatever, there's no monetary value that is attached to those awards, correct?
Yeah, Alfred got flowers yesterday
Okay.
for the
So,
best pigeon of all Holland.
right. In North America, guys make money in one loft racing, correct?
Yes.
They're not big on it in Europe. Actually, there's very small percentage that participate in one loft races at the level that we're getting, at the level our breeders are at, correct? Not a lot of them compete
Yes.
in one loft races. So they're
No.
flying to win. They're flying club, combine, federation, nationals, Olympiad, provincials, where they're getting awards. They're not making money at these races. They make their money once they've gotten to the level where their pigeons are in demand. It's a completely different mindset there, I think.
Yeah, and yes, they have nomination races where there's pools. You will hear, Luke says very, very proudly, "Oh, this bird was my first nomination. This bird was my first nomination." You hear when the guys say nomination, they have to basket in the order they're going to clock, and that's very prestigious because that means you're not a lucky flyer. You can pick the winning. So, but yeah, it's prestigious racing.
Spike's asking if the ionized sea salt is good.
A percentage, sure, you can use it. With salt again. I always say with salt, you give it to your. I think it's good for the breeders when they're pumping. You give the salt. You can give them some salt, iodine, whatever you say. Sure, I don't think it's going to kill them.
So Mo says that he couldn't find the iodine that May used. We don't have it here in Canada. So Mo, what kind of iodine did you use? Let us know, because I'm sure everybody wants to know what kind of iodine you used. Michael Peebler, humans take the pink stuff when your stomach is upset or coming out both ends of Pepto-Bismol. Yeah, to me, that it just kind of seems like a kind of Pepto-Bismol type concoction.
Yeah,
Brian
I think you're
Mansfield
right.
agrees. Good job. Eric, what was the mix of products to treat the young bird sickness? Ryan, you want to give the tip? I don't think I have it on my
Okay.
thing here
So
anymore.
it's and you know what? Go to our YouTube channel. Okay. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you're already on it. Look at the May pigeons. You'll see it's there. Uh, Basically, a quick rundown. You get the fattest milk you can buy at the store. Okay, whipping cream, whatever. Not 2%, not 1%. Get the fattiest milk, buttermilk, whatever. Get it to a slow boil, just starting to bubble very lightly. Okay, shut it off. I believe it's a beer pint, a cup or two of milk to water, same ratio with I think it's 15 mil or something like that, or an ounce of iodine. Put it in, mix it up. They give you the percentage, and you give that to your birds when you start to see it come on. And you know what? If you're looking, you say, "Boy, I don't know." Put them on it. It's not going to hurt. You're not pumping Baytril to them. Give them that. It's going to coat. And what the milk does is, if you drink a glass of milk, you see it coats your throat, coats your stomach. And then the iodine is a cleanser. So the milk goes in, coats the crop, coats the throat, coats everything. And then the iodine comes around. Bada bing, bada boom. But they have the exact measurement there. Again, go and watch it. You hear it right from May Pigeon's mouth.
So in our Facebook comments, I put a link to the May Pigeons tip. When I get another second, I'll head on over to YouTube and put the link to the May Pigeons tip for young bird sickness in the comments there as well. So after the show, you guys can watch. Okay, let's see where we have here next. Alfred. Well, tell them what I got. I'm the only fancier who is a first national winner and also has an Olympiad pigeon all around in the Netherlands. He got 2 bunches of flowers and a cup and a big smile on your face, Alfred. A big smile on your face.
Hold on. You want to know what's something, Leah? Alfred,
What?
congratulations. You did very well. You came out of your shell there, my friend. I knew what you had won, but I wanted you to say it for me. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, in the whole racing world of the Netherlands Pigeon Racing Union, it has never been done ever to win a first national. He won first national, Châteauroux, 38,000 pigeons, and he came back and he won the overall Ace Olympiad pigeon, all distances. Okay, that's never been done. Hoymans didn't do it. Koopman didn't do it. All the big names. And right here at Feathers Elite Pigeon Auctions, I want you guys to just take a moment and think of this. You have a direct child from this super hen, Olympic Henny. You have a direct son of Olympic Henny. Leah, this
Yep,
could be the largest, the most impact pigeon we've ever sold. I'm just saying.
definitely could be. Loft
I
Manager
know.
Richard is back. He's got the camera wrong again, but we're just going to go with it. Here we go. There he is. Okay. Yes, Loft Manager Richard, go ahead.
Sorry, I lost power there. I'm in a spot here where it's cold. My phone was supercharged, but the cold just drew it right down. So I'm back. Had to find power. I just couldn't leave, you know.
Good. Welcome back. Next time, stick in the garage, please, or stick in the house.
Okay, I'm going through the comments here. Sorry, I got
Hmm.
sidetracked. So, Ryan, if you'd want to
That's
say
okay.
something before, let me just get to the comments.
Yeah, not a problem. Please, guys, check it out. Feathers Elite Pigeon Auctions, Luke Vandenplas. It's going to close tomorrow. There's some fantastic sprint to middle distance. The birds are very, very good. You'll be very impressed with them. They're a very buoyant group of pigeons, put together very, very nice. And then we have the Queen of Belgium, Sonia Vandermeulen. This is the nicest group of Sonias we have ever auctioned. She raised the bar to a whole new level. I was blown away with the quality of those pigeons. And you know, I was funny on Friday. I stopped at her house, and she had the young ones out, and they were really starting to go up and kit good. And that was nice to see. It's always nice when you see young pigeons starting to go up, and you get that good feeling inside of you. But yeah, check them out. Both auctions, great.
Mike Vanderyak, trivia. How many national wins did the Jansen brothers have?
I don't know. Too
I
many.
don't. Did they have any? I don't know. Mike,
I don't
tell
know.
us. Uh, Alfred says not, so maybe none. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
How many, Mike?
I can't know everything.
Uh, Alfred never won one national chateau. Maybe they didn't win. I don't know. Mike's going to tell us. He asked the question. We're waiting.
Let's see what Mike. Let's see what Mike has here up his sleeve.
Frank Eichhorn, zero.
Uh,
Zero. So I guess Mike Vanderyak has a point with how many national wins did the Jansons produce. So what's your point, Mike? Come on out and say it. So I'm not sure what the point of
yeah,
that was.
that was. It wasn't. Yeah. Come on, Mike. Finish her off. You know what to do. Don't beat around the bush. Give me the high gear, as I say.
Oh, he says none, but they bred one. Velo for Clark.
Well, there you go. Super.
Okay.
Yeah.
What else did we want to talk about? Anything else?
Uh, no, I don't. I think we've pretty much cleaned up the street here.
All right. Okay. Yes,
I'm
Loft
good.
Manager Richard, go ahead.
I have a little tip that I've been holding back for years, and now I'm going to bring this tip out.
Okay, go ahead.
If you have lice or mites, mites are on the quill of the pigeon. The lice stay on the other part of the pigeon. Mites live, and even lice off the eye, the water in the eyes, around the back, around the vent. They go for drinks, whatever. The best thing to use is the gold Listerine. Okay, I've been holding this back for years. You put 2 caps of this, 2 of these caps from the Listerine bottle in a gallon of water. 1 gallon here in Canada, like if you go get a Javix jug, it's 1.5. Put 2 caps of these in a gallon of water and put that in your bathtub for your birds, and your lice and your mites will go. Now, I have very little lice and mites to worry about, but I put this in my water and that will do it. And, you know, I brought this out. It took me years to confess this, but guys, try it. It's good.
All right. Good tip, Ricky. You
There you
remember,
go.
guys, pigeons like to be cleaned too. Okay.
Your pigeons,
Bathe your pigeons.
your pigeons will smell good. And you can also take this the odd time if you want. And it's kind of hard to open it, but you can take a little bit yourself.
There you go. And swish.
There you
Perfect.
go.
That's
Squish it.
great. Swishing it right on camera. There we go. Isn't that good? Good.
And
Good
it's so
job.
good. It's refreshing.
Good job.
And do it. Do it. I'm not bullshitting you. Do it. You're gonna find out.
To Kind
If it
Loft
was
and
whiskey,
David Tracy say thank you for your tip there, Loft Manager Richard. Okay, so again for our one loft race, when are we accepting pigeons, Ryan?
Last week of April, first week of May. That's the cutoff date. There's going to be no exceptions to that. So if you think you're going to be bringing them on May the 12th because you couldn't figure out how to get it going, I'm just not interested. So you got to be focused on what we're doing.
Alfred says 10 drops of glow has the same effect. What's glow? What's glow here, Ryan? What's glow?
You know what? I have no clue.
We don't know.
Uh, I don't know what glow is, but I think glow could be that stuff you use, that cleaner.
Orange glow? No.
Maybe. I don't know.
Really?
Made from orange peels. Maybe. Let's see what he says. Come on, Alfred, fire it in there. Honk the horn too while you're driving.
Yes, Dad?
Okay, this Listerine should be the gold one, not the orange one, not the blue one, the gold one. In this
Okay.
country, you can get it sometimes at Walmart for $4.50 a container, and the other stores will be $6.50 a container of this. It's the gold one,
Perfect. Perfect.
right?
Gold Listerine. Mike Vandriak asking, do you use anything else for lice? Loft manager Richard.
No, I don't. And I have very few lice, but I put it in once in a while, just make sure, things are rolling good.
Brian Mansker, when will you pick up in the U.S.?
I'm going to be going May the first week of May. There, we're going to. I have my phone here, so I can't look at it, but I'll be there probably May 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. So I'm back for the final weekend. I think the weekend's May 7th. That's when the cutoff is. So we're going to pick them up that first week in May. So I'll tell most of the breeders, you have to ship your birds out, May the 1st or May the 2nd. I think that's the Monday or the Tuesday. They need to be in the post by those days. I'm going to give everybody, I'm going to sit in the US, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'm coming home. So, uh, you know,
Oh, okay. Thank you. So Alfred means bleach. Thank you, Frank Icorn. So Alfred means 10 drops of bleach.
yes, that's good too. And what we're saying, I think what Richard and Alfred are both saying, if you have a super mite and lice infestation, the first time you use it, you're going to cut it down a bit. You got to continue to use it. And by bathing your pigeons weekly, right, and giving these little things, these little tips, the bleach or the Listerine, right, and just giving them a bath with salt water, bath with bath salts, giving your birds the proper washing, you're going to see. You're going to have very little, if no lice and no mites. When you see birds that are covered with lice and mites, it means the person that was taking care of the pigeons most of the time is neglecting to bathe them. Think about it yourself. Could you imagine if you had lice in your hair, how you would feel?
Whoa.
Yeah, I start getting itchy already. Whoa.
Law manager Richard, before you say something, Bruce Dixon is asking, how about ivermectin for worms and lice, etc.? And then go ahead,
Sure,
Dad.
sure, that works.
Yeah, that's good. But I think this is probably a least what do you call it? A
Expensive.
Expensive.
cheaper way, expensive way, and some years ago, I'm talking probably 30 years ago, maybe 40 years ago, you used to be able to get potassium permanganate, but you can't get it anymore. It was a purple, made your fingers purple. You put it in the water and the water went purple and that worked, but you can't get it anymore. So this stuff, I know it works. I've been using it for years. And the other thing, if you want a little pun, you want a little bit of a smile on your face, okay? Keep this in the pigeon loft. Do your pigeons this in the bath water. Take a little cap in your mouth and swish your mouth out. And when you go back in the house and you give your wife a kiss, she's going to say, your breath smells perfect. You can't do that with bleach. Okay?
I like
So there's
that.
there's
Good
a
one.
double bonus. You could use whiskey, but then you're going to go in the house and it smells like
Yeah,
whiskey. So
whiskey would not
this
be a good
stuff here.
idea. Okay, Frank
No,
Icorn,
no, right.
what about copper sulfate?
Well, yeah, I would. That's
Copper
almost the same as
sulfate.
what I think. Isn't that the same thing that you said, Richard? No, you said
Potassium
I don't know.
permanganate. We used to use potassium permanganate, but now you can't get it anymore. You used to get it, no problem.
Okay.
Just go in the, yeah.
You
Bruce
guys
Dick,
figure out what you guys want to use.
yeah, Bruce Dixon said
I'm just saying.
potassium permanganate is quite tricky to use and can be harmful if misused. Maybe that's why they don't sell it here anymore.
That's right. I used to just put a pinch like this in a bath tray, turns the bath water purple, and your fingers get a little stain on it. But exactly what this person said. That's probably why you can't get it anymore. It's strong as you won't believe it. Okay.
Good job. Okay. Anything else?
No. I think we're pretty good on that one.
As
Just
Ryan,
keep
go ahead, Richard.
working at it. Don't get discouraged. And day by day, pigeon keeping has its highs and its lows, like everything else in life, but it's good for you because you get depressed. Oh, I had these young ones, they look so good. Oh, they don't look so good. Depression, next thing you know, you're going to get better young ones. You're going to feel good. And that's what keeps the mind going. You go to bed thinking about your birds, putting them together, thinking about those young ones, thinking about this. That's good for you. That's a release in your brain.
You know, I think I said it today on the show, speaking with the Munichs, and it was so nice to see that they flew one pigeon 14 weeks in a row. They had one old bird cock at their new loft. They had a bad toss. They lost some birds, and they had one pigeon. He basically flew 14 weeks. They went to after they went to the races. They went to the races, and they played this one pigeon. He had his own section. They'd loft fly the cock with the young ones to give them some companionship, right? And when you see that, that's the mindset of champions. They didn't pack it in. And I hear so many people last year, man, it was a bad rash, I heard. Oh, I lost my birds this way. I lost them this way. I've only got 10 to fly. I'm going to park them. Guys, if I can tell you something, if you want to be a winner, you got to play. You message Alfred. He destroyed all comers a few years back. He did it with 5 hens. It's not numbers. It's quality pigeons, taking your time and not quitting and learning. And that's my little bit of a, guys, be more positive.
Love, Andrew Richard.
Yeah. Like I said before, don't get discouraged, highs and lows. But like Ryan said, 100% right. I know individuals, they got a pair of blue bars. Look at, they raised a perfect young ones. Training, coming like bullets. They go to the first race, came like a bullet. The second race came like a bullet. The third race came like a bullet. The fourth race, I said, where's the blue bars? That blue bar cock that came so good. Oh, I had to stop him. We had another 5 races to go. I stopped him. It's out of my good blue bar pair. I had to stop him. You know what? He's an athlete. He should be able to go to the game every weekend as long as you have him in good condition. He should be able to play the sport every single weekend for 8 or 9 weeks and finish it. Otherwise, he's not worth stopping.
And the other thing, the nice thing is when you buy birds from Europe, I'll say, I'm going to use Alfred or Luke Van den Plas or Sonia van der Meulen. The birds are flying anywhere from 12 to 20 weeks. Okay, not the old birds, or the old birds, yearlings, the old birds, and the young ones give a good solid 8 to 12 weeks. These pigeons are tested. They're tested. These people do not stop pigeons. They don't hold pigeons. The pigeons have to be able to go to the races and bounce back and go back to the races. It's very interesting to see. Leah, anything else?
I'll just check the comments. No other comments. Loft Manager Richard, did you want to add anything?
No. Well, I'll just say, and if let's, for example, you have young birds, youngsters, or you have your old yearlings, your old birds, your yearlings, you put them out, and you lost them off the roof in a loft fly. Guess what? Good for you. The garbage is going. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's right. They got to learn.
100%. I lost. You say, I heard some people saying, I raised 30 young ones, and I let them out for a loft fly. They're just training around the loft. Let them out for a loft fly, and God, I lost 10. The darn things, I lost 10, or I lost 5, I lost 6. I'm all worried now. I'm all worried. Good. You lost the garbage. Now, let's see what's left. Who raised those youngsters that were that stupid to fly off the roof? They got hooked up and they took off. So that's some of the first tests. That's the first test of seeing what you have in your loft.
Yeah, that's right.
Right?
Lot of good ways to test it, and they all say it. And maybe I'll wrap this up with this. Common sense. It's so simple. Not one of these men raced to win out of a book. It's common sense. It's time with pigeons. It's the small little inches. That's why these breeders that we're at. That's why we're here, because they set themselves apart from the rest.
Chris Marshman says, thank you. Your family is bringing fantastic pigeons to North America. We are certainly doing our best. Mo, I think if you don't finish the race, you don't have the right pigeons. And I think everything takes time, guys. Don't get discouraged. Keep going. Don't get discouraged. Stay positive. Learn from these masters in their videos, in their tips, in their question and answer. Take from it what you want to incorporate into your own loft. They're not lying to you, they're not blowing smoke. These guys are and ladies are extremely passionate about what they do. This is not a hobby for them, this is a lifestyle. It is in their DNA. They live, breathe, smell, eat pigeons and pigeon racing. As you can see, it is a family affair in a lot of these breeders' lofts. You see 3 generations of flyers in the loft. You see husbands and wives, fathers and daughters. It is just a lifestyle. It's a way of life for them. That's what I've found
Yeah,
anyway.
you banged it right on the head, Leah. And a lot of common sense. And you know what? All the people, I want to say one more thing. All the breeders that I have visited, I would, if I was ever getting married, I'd invite them all to my wedding. They are super classy people. They're great. They're kind, and they really take the time and give these little tips and let me into their world, and they show. And you see why they are the masters of this sport.
Speaking of the
That's
Masters,
it.
before we wrap this up, I just want to remind everybody happening this week at feathersleypigeonauctions.com or FIPAEU.com. Who do we have? We have Sonia and Danny Vandermeulen, Queen of Belgium, and her loft manager. Their auction closes on Saturday. If you guys haven't checked out the lots, please head on over to our website and do so. We all love war paint. I love war paint, and she's got some phenomenal pigeons there. Also, we cannot forget the nicest man ever. Where is his ad? Here he is. Literally the cutest, nicest man ever. Guys, again, I highly recommend you take a look at his loft tour, take a look at his sit down question and answer. The man is just a wealth of knowledge, and he is so humble. Just a beautiful family with a beautiful group of birds. Lisbeth and Luke Vandenplas, his auction closes on Wednesday, so don't miss out on that one. Who's opening on Wednesday? Serge Van Elsacker will be opening on Wednesday. Lots of excitement here at Feathersley Pigeon Auctions. Ryan, you've been there a month tomorrow. Wow, good job.
Yeah, well, hey, we've done it all together as a team, and the people that follow along, I thank you. The haters will hate. The people that enjoy it will enjoy. People learn things. That's all we ask, and we're going to continue because, as I said, we can't stop. We won't stop, and you know what? There's nobody out there that's going to get me to stop. I'm too dumb to stop, and I love what I'm doing. So, Leah, I'm going to be here till about the middle of April.
Middle of April, lots more excitement, lots more loft tours, lots more exciting things for you guys to see. We're going to bring it to you for the next month or so before Ryan makes it back to Canada. So we hope you guys tune in. If you like our content, enjoy what we're doing, please remember to like, share, and subscribe, especially over to our YouTube channel. We're trying to get those numbers up, folks. Okay, I think that's it. Thank you guys so much. Thanks for your interaction. We do this every Monday night. So if this is your first time tuning in, every Monday night we talk everything pigeons and pigeon racing at the Pioneer Family Show. I'm Leah. That's Ryan. And Loft Manager Richard. Ryan, sign off.
Inch by inch, brick by brick, mile by mile, you hear me say it. And yeah, it sounds good. It is good. It's great. We are the best. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for your participation in the show. Keep watching. And hey, who knows where I'll be next? We'll see you next Monday. Thanks for flying with us.